burning Jeep Gladiator questions you want answered. Okay, first up in our quest for knowledge is, will Jeep make a V8 Gladiator? You know, there's a lot of chatter out there about that. It seems like a lot of us want it. The answer is, we don't know. They did put a V8 into the Jeep Wrangler. It's the 392 Rubicon, of course. It has a 6.4 liter V8 engine that produces 470 horsepower. That's 350 kilowatts in case you're interested. But the jury is still out as to whether or not Jeep will actually produce a V8 Gladiator. Gotta believe they will, but no definitive answer yet. Next up, will Jeep Gladiator hold its value? You know, the Jeep Wrangler, I believe, is number one, followed by, I believe, the Toyota Tacoma. But how does the Jeep Gladiator do? Well, the Jeep Gladiator, according to my source, will depreciate 40% after 5 years and have a 5-year resale value of $24,767. Now, of course, this is during normal times. Right now, I think you could probably add $5,000, maybe $8,000 to that figure if it were 5 years old, which we know it's not because it's only been out a couple of 3 years. But in normal times, somewhere around the $24,767, to be specific, resale value, if it were in decent condition and we were in normal times. Next up, will Jeep make a 2-door Gladiator? There's a lot of chatter about this as well, and the main thought is no. Jeep will not make a 2-door Gladiator. As cool as it might be, it just doesn't seem that there are enough buyers out there. It's kind of like the manual transmission, you know? It's cool, but there really aren't enough buyers out there that want one. So it's unlikely that we're ever gonna see a 2-door Jeep Gladiator. Next up, and this is kind of obscure, but we wanna know, how much is a Jeep Gladiator 6x6? You've probably seen those out there on the web. Obviously, they're customized. Jeep's not putting out a 6x6 Gladiator for the public, at least. They start at $132,000. And apparently, they are going to be sold at certain dealerships. So apparently, Jeep must have some kind of an arrangement with the aftermarketers. So it sounds like you'll actually be able to go to a dealership and pick up a Gladiator 6x6. I imagine the price is probably going to climb a little bit higher than $132,000. Next up, is Jeep going to put a Hemi in the Gladiator? This kind of goes back to the V8 question, right? I mean, it is the V8 question, so it seems people weren't satisfied with the first answer. They had to ask it in a different way. Jeep has confirmed that both the 392 Hemi V8 and the Wrangler's new plug-in hybrid powertrain will, in theory, fit under the body, or under the hood as it may be, of the Jeep Gladiator. So, it's possible they've kind of changed their mind, or at least given us a little taste, that Jeep Gladiator will indeed have a V8 Hemi. Wouldn't that be awesome? Let's see, next up, and there's a bunch more questions, people just rephrasing about the 392 and the Hemi and the Gladiator, but the answer is Jeep's looking at it, it would appear. Are Jeep Gladiators selling well? You know, when they first came out, they kind of climbed and then they kind of, you know, did one of these things. But it arrived in showrooms during the first quarter of 2019, so we're going to go back a little bit. Sales were slow at first, but during the first quarter of the year, Jeep sold 15,529. This was the first quarter that they were available. Third quarter sales, however, jumped. They were stronger, 22,163 trucks sold. So I would say they're doing pretty well. And recently I read that the Jeep Gladiator was actually number 2, right behind the Toyota Tacoma. Now, is the Gladiator going to catch the Tacoma? Highly unlikely, unless Toyota really stumbles with the Toyota Tacoma. I just don't see that happening. But anyway, they do seem to do, or are doing, pretty well. Next up, how long does a Jeep Gladiator last? You know, if you're buying one and you're the kind of person that keeps these for a long period of time, this might concern you, or maybe not. Apparently, a Jeep Gladiator will last, and these of course are projections because the Jeep hasn't been out that long, but it will last 13 and a half years. So, not too bad, I guess. 13 and a half years, that's based on an average mileage of 15,000 miles per year. Regular maintenance and responsible driving, of course. Obviously, the more you go out and beat it up, the shorter it's gonna last. Next up, what should I pay for a Jeep Gladiator? Now, this is based on 2021 because the 2022s are just starting to roll. The Jeep Gladiator has a $33,545 starting price, which is higher than pretty much every other compact or mid-size pickup truck. Now, it rises if you go with the Rubicon, jumps up to $43,875 and climbs up to $51,500 for a Jeep. $51,500 for the high altitude trim. That is the more luxury, prestigious, plush trim for the Jeep Gladiator. Next up, what are the 2022 Jeep Gladiator colors? Hey, you're asking, people are asking. They're gonna have black clear coat, or a gloss black, stingray clear coat, a gloss light gray in other words, granite crystal pearl coat rather, hydro blue clear coat, one of my favorites, snazberry, another one of my favorites, pearl coat metallic, more of a metallic red I guess, and a firecracker red, which I really like as well. So sounds like pretty much the same. I didn't really see anything in there that was pretty much or any different rather than what we've got. Now, the last two, this might have actually run into 12 or 13. The last two, is the Jeep Gladiator reliable? Let's see, the Jeep Gladiator has similar scores for reliability and owner satisfaction. That means the 2020 model didn't have many issues to bring the score down. So that's cool. I know there were a couple issues with my first one, electrical things, but overall, I'm on my second 2020, it has been pretty reliable. Now, the last question, are Jeep Gladiators comfortable? You know, we like to be comfy when we're in our mid-size rugged trucks. Let's see, it earned the top spot in US News's list of most comfortable trucks with an interior score of 8.5 out of 10. Now that is pretty good. So imagine a rugged, rough, it's not really that rough, Jeep Gladiator scoring 8.5 out of 10 in comfort of all things. That's just crazy. Anyway, those are the top burning questions that you and I have been asking. There's one more question I know you folks are gonna ask, and that is, where do you get one of those? See that little dinky Jeep Gladiator sitting up there? It is a die-cast model. There's links down below if you want to check it out. You can find out how to get one. I think they're pretty cool. I just wanted one because I like that kind of stuff. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment. Are there some other burning questions that you want to know that weren't covered? I'd be curious. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.